Hello, I'm Noel T. Manning II, and welcome to Open Dialogue. I do hope that you're doing well today. I know that I am, because we're getting ready to chat with Bonnie Hunt, and I have been a huge fan of Bonnie for years. And if you want to think about the work that she's been involved in as an award-winning writer and director and actress and producer, I mean, it just goes on and on. She's getting ready to introduce us to Amber Brown on Apple TV+. And one of the things you're going to find about this show is it's a throwback in so many ways to family shows that connected to folks in the 60s and 70s, but yet it's fresh, it's authentic, and it's different. Bonnie's going to talk to us about how she has been involved in the writing and the directing process and the producing process as well of Amber Brown. Now, Bonnie has also been connected to some large films that you may have heard of, maybe some little small films like Rain Man or Jerry Maguire or Jumanji, The Green Mile, some of those. Well, we're not going to talk a lot about those because we do want her to share with us about Amber Brown. So let's check out this interview with Bonnie Hunt. Bonnie Hunt, it is so good to talk to you. I hope you're well today.
Hi, Noel. How are you doing? I'm doing all right.
I am marvelous. I am absolutely marvelous. I have been wanting to talk to you for years. You've been a part of our family for a while. I got to tell you, my wife and I, my bride and I, were married back in '94. Mm-hmm. And one of our favorite TV shows during our early years of marriage was Bonnie. And we have continued to embrace your shows throughout the years, Life with Bonnie, Bonnie Hunt Show. And when our children were younger, there were a handful of films that were always ones we would revisit. And Cheaper by the Dozen was at the top of the list. So I just want to thank you for bringing joy to our family throughout your art and throughout storytelling. So I want to first just thank you for that.
Oh, Noel, thank you. And I think it's so nice when somebody gets what you're doing, and you and your wife watching those early series that I wrote and or was acting in. That's just really nice.
Well, I just appreciate you and continue to appreciate your work, and just so excited to talk to you about Amber Brown. You have a large part in this and making this show come to life. And, you know, we think about families and about connecting families. I think Amber Brown is one of those shows that can do that. It can do it well. I love the story concept, the unique approach to narrative, and the casting of the characters. And so I'd love for you to share why you feel that this show works for you from a writer's perspective.
Because it's so personal. I was writing a series about an eccentric aunt based on my, just inspired by my own life. I'm an aunt to 15 nieces and nephews, and I don't have my own kids, so I was like, oh, I'm going to write about this, because my mom was encouraging me to write for the family demographic, to really speak to young people and keep the parents smart and intelligent, the characters of the parents. So I was doing that, and then I ran into an executive at Boat Rocker, Bob Higgins, who said, what are you working on? And we've known each other for years, and I was telling him, he's like, oh, I've got the rights to this book, this book series, Amber Brown. So I met with Paula Danzinger's family and told them that, I wanted to make Amber older, possibly make her an artist, have her talk directly to the camera, and to have her imagination come out in full animation so we can really feel her deeper subtext, and to make these parents aware and responsible and trying to do the best they can, and have humor and pathos. And they were on board quickly. So I just want families to be able to have something to watch. Like when I was younger, my dad would be watching the Andy Griffith Show and escape for a moment and laugh and not be talked down to.
Right. Well, Carson Rose is amazing, and what a perfectly cast person to be the core of this. And what is it that you think makes her so good at bringing this character and the stories to life?
I think she connected with the material. I mean, when the kids came in, when we were meeting all the kids, I was, roommates with my mom at the time, and it was the pandemic, and so we were doing all these auditions via Zoom, and we saw so many wonderful kids for this role, and they were all fantastic. They all could have played Amber, but you wanted that real connection where it just clicks and feels so right. And that was Carson Rose when she came in. She just felt the material. She said, "This is how I feel sometimes. This is so real." She could just, there was an authenticity there and an accessibility and just this natural style, because I didn't want somebody, especially a young kid who's been trained out of their natural instincts. And she was a natural. She's a star in the making. Amazing.
Well, this character goes through family changes, and we've all dealt with multiple family changes throughout our lives. Everyone has. If you live long enough, you're going to either be part of a divorce, either from a child's perspective or a parent's perspective, or sickness or death. There's so many things that can impact our lives, and it doesn't just impact one person, it impacts everyone involved. So what I've always found interesting in my life and through this show is, even in the midst of the challenges, I think humor can provide healing. And I'd love for you to talk about your thoughts about the storytelling aspects of bringing that authenticity alive on screen. And you mentioned authenticity before, but there's something authentic about humor and how it plays a role in our lives.
I think it was the way I was raised. It was a coping mechanism for us. And there's a moment in the show where the mom says, when Amber said, "I'm so sad, Mom," and she's just overwhelmed with sadness. And the mom says, "Just like happy times don't last forever, neither do sad times, and this too shall pass." I mean, those are words right from my mom that she gave to me as a teenager. So that's what's so personal about it. But the humor is there because that's what my mom would do. She would find some levity where we'd be almost crying and then laughing through our tears a moment later. And I hope that the gift, that the brilliant television that I saw when I was a kid, just watching my mom and dad watch the Andy Griffith Show or the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Dick Van Dyke Show, and just like forget everything for a moment and laugh. It was so powerful. Like, I remember 8, 9 years old looking at the TV and then looking at my parents and thinking, like, it was powerful. It was a gift. And I just hope I can provide that for families with this show, where they can just laugh and watch it together and not have any fear about something being too weird, that they don't want to see it, or too embarrassing. Those feelings are okay and fine to have, but this show is really about nurturing that communication.
The show is Amber Brown. It is an Apple TV original. Really appreciate you, Bonnie Hunt, spending time talking to us, and thank you for being a part of my family. And I just will continue to follow you and be a fan of who you are and what you provide to us through your art and through your life and storytelling. So thank you so much, Bonnie.
Oh my gosh, thank you for such a thoughtful interview, Noel. I appreciate it. Hello to your wife and your children.
Have a blessed day.
You too.